Hey guys, welcome to the Voice Chat Podcast, episode 10. Woo. My name is Maaz from TheAMaazing.
I'm Laddi.
I'm Rushlight Invader.
I'm SugarCub.
And I'm Zalinki.
Woo.
Yeah.
There you go. Those are our two special guests for this episode.
I'm pretty
on
special.
Our 10th podcast episode, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are here for the
10th anniversary
digits.
Special edition.
We were like, who can we grab for the special episode? And we grabbed Zalinki and SugarCub.
Podcast X.
You guys should actually
It's
start
like the new
referring to them
iPhones.
as like Roman numerals. That'd be way cooler.
Dude, that would be...
Well, I think the thing is, I'd be okay with that, but if we were to get into our higher digits, that'd be just the worst thing ever.
It would be so
Long
bad.
Title.
Think about the medieval aesthetic.
Yeah. We start getting more and more medieval every episode. We start
Hear
wearing
ye, hear
chainmail.
ye. Welcome back.
Welcome with D to
The cast of pod.
So if you don't know if you don't know our guests, so I just want to familiarize everybody in the audience. So Zalinki and SugarCub are YouTubers as well. They're fantastic and they're good old friends. They're good old friends of ours.
They make so
And-
many sexy animations.
Yeah, plug us.
Right? Like I know everyone's like, oh, everyone's an animator, but no, they're real. They're real. Animators.
You get the real title. Okay, but Rush is a real animator. Come on, right?
I
Well,
guess.
have you seen what? I don't know, man. Like, all his videos are getting
Uh-oh.
demonetized now. I don't know.
What?
Man.
Yeah.
Shade being
Why?
thrown today.
No. Rush is obviously an animator, but it's just like I think maybe I shouldn't say this, but I don't know. We got a lot of storytime animators and stuff that come in as well.
Yeah.
But you guys actually, whether it be from your course in college, SugarCub,
I'm
but
not in
it's
college
also.
yet.
Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Well, not yet, but you're going to the.
Yes.
You're going to the. Yeah. Well. Thanks.
I need to make that clear.
I'm not in college yet. In a week.
Yes,
and
this
it's
is
like, all right,
all
well-
handmade talent right here. I'm better than everyone.
You got that skill.
Well, look at that. Look at this chick. All right, let's kick her out of the podcast.
Yeah.
It was just
Unacceptable.
Good run.
Unacceptable. Well, actually, Zalinki, I don't know if you've done any course or anything for.
No, I haven't. None at all.
So, you're also like just self-taught.
Yeah, for the most part, I would say.
A grand
Dang,
wizard
man.
taught him,
Makes-
actually.
Yeah, the
What
Grand
would be the
Wizard.
not most part?
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like
said,
maybe I cheated because people see my 2D stuff and it seems kind of good from the get-go, but I did do like clay animation beforehand, like stop motion, So I sort of had to go ahead.
Oh,
I never knew about
Self-taught.
this.
Yeah, I know.
that's really. Well, is there any videos of the 3D? Wait, is it on your channel?
I mean, there is, but I think they're all unlisted until I die, and then somebody like,
What? You unlisted them? I'm so mad.
yeah,
I'm so weird. One day he'll go
Wait,
back to his
I-
craft.
it's
No,
true.
like, legitimately, that explains a lot because with the claymation, the expressions need to be like 10 out of 10. You need to have like really strong expressions in claymation.
That's true.
Can we-
And
Sorry.
up?
Can we talk
No, what's
about claymation? Just a little bit? I
No.
saw some-
okay.
No,
You didn't-
absolutely not.
Yeah, you didn't
dare
ask
you.
permission. What the hell?
I saw
That
some
is the
really.
forbidden word.
Excuse me, sir. Can we talk about clay? It's like, yeah. Just why did you ask for permission?
We're already doing that.
It's
We
nice.
literally
Comes from
talking
the
about
earth.
There's this
claymation.
claymation I saw, and it was some really creepy crap. I think so. The name of it's BOBBBY YEAH. That's the name of the claymation, and it is the creepiest thing I have seen on the planet Earth. It's you follow this guy that looks like a bunny.
Yeah, I
except-
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, except he's like skin toned everywhere and like bloody almost. And
What the hell?
there is no storyline; it just happens.
It's like
Wait,
organs
bunny,
and
yeah?
stuff. Yeah, it's like
you
this-
don't know what's happening. It's
What
it's an
Nightmare Fuel? Look it up.
Wait, what's it called? Wait,
BOBBBY
what's
YEAH.
YEAH.
That's the.
Oh, Bobby. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard bunny. Yeah. All right.
Bobby?
The name has nothing to do with the actual video. It's actually the name of the room where they made this entire claymation.
Oh, that looks terrifying.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
it is
Yeah.
terrifying.
What is that face, dude? Is that Rush? Is
That's
that
me.
you?
That's me.
I'm
I'm
It's a
afraid to
Bobby.
look
really
at
Yeah,
good
guys.
animation.
Is it actually good horror though? Is it actually like decent?
Yeah.
Want nightmares?
I mean, I love it. It's great. It's 22 minutes of just like amazement that there could be something so creepy yet so cute. Is that just me?
Are you into gore? Are you into cute gore?
There's certain points in it where you're like, oh, that's almost adorable. I'm desensitized.
Oh no. But I think that's like everybody on the internet though. There's not like if you spend a lot of time on the internet, you're gonna reach a point in which you're just like, all right, I'm used to everything.
Do you think that's because we watched Claymations when we were younger? I don't know about you guys.
Well, Zalinki made Claymation, so he's probably the most cynical.
Yeah, I'm probably the most fucked up here. I got a long line of like traumatic Claymation. I don't. I mean, Clay is like inherently creepy, to be honest.
Yeah, the more Claymation you watch, the more fucked up you are.
Especially Nick Park. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit really does stuff to you, you know.
I never liked it. It scared me. As
Really?
a kid.
You never liked it? They have some of the best like humor because it's it's British.
amazing.
It creeped me
Yeah.
out. It looked creepy. Well, I was 7. I
Their big
didn't
fat
listen.
lips. Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
listen
I know.
to the
The
story. I just
VSLs,
watched
yeah.
it. I was scared. Also, I watched the werewolf one, so it was extra scary.
That one's not
The
even
Were
spooky.
Bunny, excuse
The
me.
were bunny.
Yeah, the
I'm
Were
sorry.
Bunny.
It's
That's
like,
great. That's such a good
So
movie.
you were 7, and it is a fantastic movie. But
Yeah.
I also remember like when I was 7, I was scared of the Spider-Man scene in which the Green Goblin stabs himself with his own like
Glider.
Oh, yeah.
I remember crying. I was like, no, he's the dad. You know.
Yeah, when I was 7, I watched Scary Movie. I don't know if it was 1 or 2, but it was the one with like the kid that looks Asian and scarier because of it. He's like a guy,
Yeah.
a little boy.
Are Asian scary or?
I don't know. I guess so. He was in the dark, okay, and he looked like my
Uh-oh.
brother, except
Whoa.
Asian.
I love the immediate answer. Yeah, I guess so. You know, accepting like, yeah, they do. you
But
know?
it was so scary as a 7-year-old, even though it was a comedy. It just like everything's scary as a 7-year-old.
Asians were so scary when I was 7.
That's why you like. That's why you hate anime. I know.
Well, I just secretly hate on anime.
Oh my gosh, how dare you?
Oh, since
Well,
it's like
it is like the claymation thing in its entire. I found that the most interesting because it like any skill you do, anything you do, like whether it be clay or whether it be outside art in general, it's you don't realize some of the inherent things you pick up from that skill, right? Like I think. With you, Zalinki, all of your animation have always been like you have some of the most recognizable like emotions and expressions.
Yeah, I don't know. You know
Hands
what's
down.
funny though? I wouldn't put that towards Claymation doing that because to be honest, I often animated like guys without faces. It was more about like full body movement and spectacle, like big fight scenes. Because it was like, oh, you get the red clay and you're like, now I can make blood and I can be edgy, right? And cut like have claymen killing each other and stuff. It was never really like faces are truly hard, right? When you look at like the Aardman animation and the big DSL, the massive lips
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
have, like I feel like they really worked for that look because it's super hard to get lip syncing done in Claymation. Usually they have to use like the masks, right? That they swap out like in Paranorman
Yep.
or something.
Yeah.
Dude, Paranorman's so good. Oh, it's one of my
it's pretty-
favorite stop motion
like
movies.
Paranorman.
It's pretty cash money.
I went.
Paranorman. It's weird because Paranorman is, I think, visually appealing. I found that like the actual story and the underlying thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
I gotta tell you, yeah, that's true. I agree with that. The story's kind of like,
Coraline
It's like
was-
their
is
whole,
the
like,
opposite, where-
studios style. Like, did they make Kubo?
Yeah, they did.
Studio
Yeah, the
Lake.
Kubo. Okay.
Kubo.
Kubo is like a travesty that no one watched it
Dude,
more than they did. You know.
I went to the theater on a weekend, and it was just me and my brother, and I went in, and there was no one in there, and we just sat there and was like, "There's no
Wait,
one."
what
in
film is
here.
this? It's by Leica, right?
Yeah, Kubo, the two strings.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever heard of that
It's-
either.
Oh no!
It's dude.
Uh-oh.
It's amazing. If you like claymation, if you like a genuinely good story, that's like
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
All right.
Have you guys watched Isle of Dogs?
Oh yeah.
not yet.
No, that's the one by
I
the
want
director.
to.
What's his name?
Wes Anderson, my boy. I love Wes
The
Anderson.
guy who made Wes Anderson. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. He made it, and so I had a friend who watched it with the because it was on the same night as Infinity War, right?
Oh.
And he watched both. Yeah, that's probably like the biggest misstep.
Right.
So he watched both of them, and he's like, I think I enjoyed Isle of Dogs more than Infinity War because of how good Isle of Dogs was, not not due to another reason.
Yeah.
I would rather watch Isle of Dogs than Infinity Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Actually,
And that's a wrap.
look,
Everybody
man,
clap and,
I don't like superhero movies. Everyone will kill me for it, but my friend got me a ticket to go see it with her, and I was like, I'm not paying you back for that. Go find another person.
I feel you.
It's crazy because Infinity War, I enjoyed it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I might be biased by saying this, but and I have watched a lot of the Marvel movies, so I do have a little bit of a bias. I get that, but even from a movie standpoint, I think it just did something so freaking amazing, which is that they juggled like 50 plus very well-known characters and made a pretty good story out of it with an amazing villain. You know,
they were kind of just go, and it was constant action. It felt like it knew what it was and what it wanted to accomplish, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's coming from me. Like, I hate superhero movies as well, and I went to go see it with my brother, I think for his birthday or something. I was like, wow, I'm surprised. This was actually pretty good.
I think
The reason I watched Infinity War, and I was like, I gotta show someone this. And I was like, Laddi, have you watched any of the Marvel movies? Like, no. I'm like, all right, Laddi, we're gonna binge watch them so I can get your hopes up and watch you get crushed.
Yeah, he made me get emotionally attached to all the characters that die in the movie.
I was like,
You're
this
cold,
character's really
dude. You're
good, right?
And then I cried, and he was laughing at my crying. I was crying at, like, the movie ended, and I was crying, and he was just laughing. I'm like,
Yeah, but did he show you that half of those heroes are like slated for more sequels, so that they're probably all gonna come back to life? Did you explain that one?
Eventually.
No.
But
You had to figure it out on your own.
For a while.
I love it. It's just like
heartbroken.
Rush snaps his fingers and Laddi just
into tears.
Oh, my favorite character.
It was worth the payoff.
Oh, yeah. He's like.
I'm
so
evil. I'm so mean.
evil.
Don't spoil too much though.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. But that was my experience with Marvel.
Whoa, are we still not allowed to spoil Infinity War? It's been out for like 6 months, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
it's just and it's a highbrow movie, but
Okay,
I think I do have a
Thanos
problem
wins,
with.
and
He does the Macarena.
Yeah.
I love his big meaty
Thanos
CGI
car.
fingers. He goes.
I think the main reason I don't like Infinity Wars is because Spider-Man's not Tobey Maguire.
I want him to walk down the
that's
street
a
all
tough one.
sexy.
I agree.
That's it. That's
I think Tobey Maguire did a really good Peter Parker, but did not do a good Spider-Man. If that makes sense.
That's no, you're right. I agree with that.
love it though. I
Because
love all-
Spider-Man is meant to be this kind of maybe not witty, but like charming kind of likable character. Whereas I found that Tobey Maguire, whilst he did a fantastic awkward Peter Parker, his Spider-Man was just more of the same. It was just like, I'm a hero and I'm gonna do hero things, and it's
Still.
like. Oh.
That's very
Look, I'm
true.
biased.
But were the Spider-Man 1 and 2 really good? It was, and I love it, and I still enjoy it.
Spider-Man 3 dancing was amazing. Did you not see the Spider-Man 3?
That's the best part, actually.
There's a video out there where they talk about all the good things that Spider-Man 3 did. And it makes
Like
me
the
happy.
hair.
There is like there are good
haircut.
ideas, right?
The haircut.
Because there are like genuinely good stuff. The haircut, but I just Sony and the entire studio was like, "Hey, why don't you fit Venom in?" And he's like, "I don't want to fit Venom in." And they're like, "No, you want to fit Venom in." And he's like,
Why?
"No, I don't."
Yeah.
And
Why
then
is it
he
that
had
that
to.
movie has Venom in it.
Yeah, on the subject of Venom, apparently that's tanking right
Dude.
now, boys.
Getting bombed. Yeah, I feel so bad. I want to watch it. And I was like,
I feel
"Aw."
bad because I love Tom Hardy, not because I love Venom.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is like an amazing actor, and for him to be wronged like this, you don't do
Right.
bad to my boy.
Wait, what
Who
happened?
hurt you?
Is it not good?
It's
Yeah,
not
who
good.
hurt you?
It's not good?
Yeah, he said 40 minutes of good content, like Tom Hardy's favorite parts, were all cut. He's like, that was my favorite content, and it's not there. It's like, oh.
Aw.
Yeah, and apparently it's more like a buddy cop movie with the symbiote than
What?
anything actually. And the thing is, people say that that's their favorite part. It's like, had they opted to go
Right.
for a more wacky route and be like,
Yeah, I was gonna
hey,
say from the
symbiote
sound of
really
that,
just
that
wants
sounds like
to-
it could work, like a buddy cop sort of approach.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
exactly, right? Like it's a murderous partner you have to live with, and it's like a comedy thing. I would actually watch that.
Good
That
cop,
would be
bad
really
cop.
funny.
Comes into your room, he's like your roommate.
Yeah.
He's like, you haven't done the dishes again? Come on, Venom. laugh track, you know.
And Venom's just like, I will murder you. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, good one, man. It's just
Seriously, do dishes.
classic Venom. Yeah. I like, it's just totally inconsistent, you know, that's the big thing that everyone's saying.
But did you see the Spider-Verse trailer with all the different animation styles?
That's
Pretty cool.
It looks
Gnarly.
epic.
that.
It's like
That
3D with
looks
smear
really-
frames and everything.
Sony is just rubbing their fingers. They're so happy. Fingers, I mean palms.
Yeah.
Who rubs their fingers? But you know, like,
It's
after
crazy
the
'cause-
Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's really crazy because I felt like it be, you know, like 10-ish years ago or 15-ish years ago that studios and TV shows and everyone decided like, hey, I don't think animation is good. And they were just like, I don't want to do animation. And so there weren't really too many animated good movies, you know what I mean? Like back then, like Disney was pumping out their own stuff, but then they started weaning out of it. And there was like a little period of time in which no one cared about animation.
Did you watch Shrek 2?
That's true. It's
We need a
good.
hero.
The best
And
Shrek
so
animated.
it's Shrek is like amazing. I love Shrek. Anyway, so
Yes.
but now it's like, you know, I know people like to rag on Teen Titans Go and all them, but like literally the renaissance of Cartoon Network of like Adventure Time and Gravity Falls and Steven Universe and OK Go and all these like new animated shows along with the movie, like, you know, like have you seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animation?
It looks
like,
good.
The show.
Yeah.
Animation is good.
It's
Hell,
like
well,
excellent.
Even the animation
right?
on Teen Titans Go looks really good. It's just the writing people go and
exactly.
scoff at.
Yeah. It's like all those animation, they look really good. And then the movies, you know, we got like the Kubo as you mentioned, but then some of these shows that are coming out with you know, Spider-Verse, I'm really excited where it goes.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope it turns out just like Bobby Yeah.
just haunt your
no.
dreams forever.
Oh
Somehow.
my god. Do you want Bobby Yeaah as a pet?
He's scary looking. Like,
I still haven't looked up an image of him, so I don't even know.
He's pretty hot.
I don't
Pretty hot.
like it.
Okay, so he looks like a guy, like a human with a sack on his body, and then he has
Most guys do.
two fleshy
No,
ears.
we'll show his on the screen now so the audience can see Bobby Yeaah.
He's got these two fleshy rabbit ears, and they look like penises almost.
Wait, no, I still haven't
my
seen it.
God.
How do you spell this? I gotta see it. How come the audience gets to see
Bobby
it, but I
yeah.
can't?
Bobby space YEAH.
Bobby
What?
Bobby space YEAH.
H.
Oh, so
Like
just
spelled.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Oh my god. What? Oh.
Hot, right?
Oh my god. I know what
Oh,
this
Lord.
is. Or I think I know what this is. It's like what do you call it? You know, like the Berenstain. That is the Mandela kind of feeling, or whatever you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel
a
like
few
I've seen
things in
this.
it that I just wonder about. They use in one point of it, they either use nails or they use onions, and I really can't tell because it's either nail clippings that they use for hair, which is really gross, or it's onions, and I really hope it's onions.
They would probably use nail clippings because like onions would go bad, right? And you'd see them browning. So it's probably nail
Yeah.
clippings.
Why
I'm gonna
are
be
you
real with you,
ruining
Chief.
this
I'm gonna
for
rip that
me?
band-aid off.
Why are you ruining this?
I'm not ruining it. I'm enhancing your
Wow,
Chief,
oral
is this
knowledge.
it? Is this it, Chief?
I think this is finally it.
No, it's crazy because, like, well, Bobby Yeaah obviously, you know, take that out of the equation. There was also, like, an advent of horror animations. Like, does anyone remember Salad Fingers?
Oh, you mean like old internet
I
animation?
remember
Yeah.
Salad Fingers.
I remember being
Like,
into
but,
it.
like, why were they all, like, so many horror
I
animations?
really liked
think-
Salad Fingers. I don't know why. I kind
'Cause
of
it was
liked the
cool.
creepy.
I mean, it was kind of funny. It was kind of random,
Can we get
and you're
more?
like, oh. I mean, it's still going. I'm pretty sure.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
You still
maybe.
upload
No.
once in a while.
No, I don't know.
Who does it?
No
David
way.
David Firth animates those. He still uploads like occasionally,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
still does like weird, just absurd kind of surreal humor. I guess is what it is.
Oh, you know
He's
what?
got almost 1 million subscribers, actually.
He
Yeah, he
famous.
does. People like his stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
Salad Fingers. What the heck?
well, look at Film Cow, right? The guy who did Llamas with Hats and Charlie the Unicorn. Like, while that was kind of like
Love him.
a lol random humor, a lot of it did tend towards like violence or like really creepy things. Like, look at the first Charlie the Unicorn. He gets abandoned in the forest, and then like, or is it that
Then
one?
there's
No,
something
they
come
they
out?
trap him inside the Candy Mountain. That's what they do. And it was just kind of messed up. It was, I don't know what they were thinking.
It's also like, it even like what do you call it?
Happy
Like
tree
llamas
friend?
with a hat.
Oh.
The entire
Right.
premise that we laugh at is that he stabbed a man 37 times and ate his hands. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, and that I mean
still
that just
laugh
might be
at that.
Jason Steele.
Oh,
Well,
speaking
Jason
of,
is like, he's so depressed. Have you seen his new videos?
Oh yeah, no,
like-
he's clearly like there was the one that he did about like a horse on a beach, and he was clearly like talking to the audience about how he just didn't like making stuff. It was like it was just very apparent. I don't know. I jumped in one of his streams recently. The guy seems like he's alive and kind of doing fine, just not animation, I guess.
Yeah, he was like playing a game, like very chill, like a
Yeah,
stream.
which I appreciate. You know, like as long as you're enjoying yourself, right?
he's moved on, and is now actually killing people.
Oh,
Here we go.
nice.
Right.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Move on.
Move on. But so
Wait,
That made Laddi sad.
wait, which was the beach episode? I want to watch that. Where's the video?
which one?
I think it was called Gary the Horse, or like the Adventures of Gary the Horse, and he goes into like this metaphor where he's like, you ever think that you spend so much time being a horse, just dumping on stuff and doing horse things, that like you lose touch of who you are, or something like that. And like you can hear like the waves, just like this wave silent, like lapping against the shore, and it's just very silent, and it's like it's just it's
Yeah.
clearly a
What
message.
the heck?
But even though you say, Zalinki, that like this stuff, like you can tell that he's got some shit going on, I think honestly that makes the best sorts of animation, the one where it really is rooted back to yourself and where people can relate to.
I mean, it really
kind of
depends.
thing.
I know a lot of people hated the ending of Llamas with Hats because it went full depressing, and I think like Carl ends up killing himself, or one of them ends
Yeah.
up committing suicide, and I think it was Jason Steele's way of saying fuck you to the audience because they kept asking for more, so he kind of turned it against them and made it a parody of itself and everything.
Yeah,
I kinda like the ending,
It's really
though.
much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
very
genius,
much an
right?
interpretation because like, because like it's really bizarre because from the very first episode we were laughing at very messed up things, right? We're like, he stabs him 37 times and kills a man, and that's really funny, and we were laughing at it. And then the next episode's like, what? He sinks an entire ship, you know? And then the next episode he eats a waiter and he causes a nuclear bomb, and we're
Oh,
still
yeah.
laughing. And then it gets I wouldn't say it gets more messed up. It remains the exact same level of messed up. We just realize like, oh wait, this
yeah,
isn't
he slowly makes you
funny.
aware of how like the audience, you're the ones who are messed up, right? Like
Yeah.
there's something wrong with
This
you.
is why we like Happy Tree Friends.
That's
Sure,
true.
everyone dies.
Oh gosh.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw this. I went to a animation festival the other day, other week,
As you do.
and they had this weird. So it was almost funny, but there was this animation, this cartoon-looking animation with like watercolored backgrounds and animals that looked like you'd see them in a kids show, basically. And they all go on this trip to find this flower for this mouse. And as they go, they find more and more animals to help them find this flower. Except nobody knows what the flower actually looks like because it's all by word of mouth. And then they find a chicken that looks like a flower. And it goes dark very fast.
Oh no!
They chop the head off.
Oh, no.
And you're like, this is not gonna happen. Even before, like seconds before it happens, you're like, no, they wouldn't do this. They would not do this.
The thing is, okay,
Delicious.
And then you laugh because you're so scared.
Wait, no, I'm not
I
laughing.
love that though. Like, don't hug me, I'm scared. I love that. You know,
I wish,
the-
yeah, I wish there was more of that kind of stuff. But the
Yeah.
state of YouTube makes people scared.
Yep.
oh,
I mean,
that's
have you
fair.
seen my content? Mine's pretty dark. Come on, what's going on?
Not dark enough.
Okay, Jesus. Fine.
not dark enough.
One up me.
Yeah. Just got dumped on, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Poo-poo.
delete my channel.
Make a channel
Go
number
back to
2,
Claymation.
and it's
Yeah, go
called
back to Claymation.
Edge Linky.
Make Bobby
I was gonna
Yeah
say make some Bobby Yeah
Please
cartoons.
get your old clay out. Let's go.
The old clay.
So we're all animators, right? I think we animate
no.
cartoons.
I'm an
No.
animator.
No, well,
Oh, you're right.
Majoring in animation.
So
I guess.
you ever like watch a cartoon and then you see something happen and you're like, I know exactly how that was made. I can see that the PNG file spinning around their hand. It's like,
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
it
I
ruins
love
the
that.
experience for you. You're like, God
It
dang it.
does. It really really does.
Yeah, it ruins it, but then
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm excited because I know I can ruin it for somebody else. Where I'm like, you know how they did this
Oh,
shot, and
yeah.
they're like, "Shut up! I'm just trying to watch this."
It's really funny because like I definitely have had that, but I'm also just I have a vested interest in film and TV in general. Like I did a lot of 5 years, I think, 7 years in media, like learning television. And so when I watch TV and Netflix shows and movies, I know exactly what they're doing. Like sometimes there'll be a continuity error, and I notice it because I'm like not looking for it, but like I don't know. I just see it. I'm like, all right, there we go. That's a continuity error. You know, you've rained on the sidewalks to make it shine better. You know, like it's all
Like
Just-
one scene they grab the guy with his right hand, but the next scene a cutaway his left hand is on him. It's like, wait a minute, that's not
I
the right
only
hand.
look for those kind of things if I'm supposed to hate it or like feel like I'm going to.
Like superhero movies.
There's
That's
this
true.
There's this one like Netflix show that I watched. I don't remember which one, but they were in an office, right, with a guy behind a desk on his computer and two people behind the desk, like asking him questions. And the two people asking him like, "Hey, what state can I find this in?" And the guy on the computer starts typing, and the shot is from behind the guy on the computer looking at the two guys, right? But in the show, you can see the guy typing like nothing. You can see him like going like.
And
I'm like, what?
He was on Armor Games. He
You
was
know?
just playing some Minesweeper, fucking.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like you hear something. It's like no, I don't hear something. It's crazy. This guy. I don't know. Something like that's so glaringly obvious that
Right.
I just like what the.
Well, like I understand you
Netflix.
can't show
Okay.
like Google, right, or you can't show certain search engines without paying a fine. But then, yeah, like why show the shot? Why lay that out for people to criticize? Because people
It's
are
not
gonna see
Google,
it.
it's Google.
Yeah, Google. Goggle.
Yeah, but speaking of
Gavel.
Netflix, I've been watching a Netflix anime series, which is always a bad idea. Don't
Ooh.
do that to yourself.
What's it called? What do you do?
It's called Forest of Piano. And you know what?
Why
I did
would
like
you watch
it.
that? And not.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
I did like it, but I was like, oh, it's not going to be in 3D this time, or like CGI or whatever they're using. And I was like, thank God. And then there would be piano scenes where their fingers would touch the piano. All fucking like, it's so glaringly obvious. I want to die.
Oh no.
I gotta look this up.
Damn.
But
Well, the thing
it's
is,
okay
can-
otherwise.
can-
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna make your own piano CGI scene to spite them?
Yeah, she's doing it
It
right now.
just looks like an MMD file. And I'm like, did they? Could they? Probably.
Well, speaking of, because like I don't think the audience knows this, but one of her videos that she made, the pineapple pork soda,
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
Pineapple.
right?
Works.
There's an animation meme called pork soda, and then you watched it and you got mad or something. Is that?
Something like that. I was like, you know what? Everyone's stuff is kind of shit, so I'm gonna do better.
Uh-oh.
That's how it
Lol.
started. I'm sorry,
Right,
everyone.
and so you did at everyone you sucked.
It's not
and so
that their art sucked. It's just that they're not creative at all.
It's crazy. So like I watched your one and I was like, this person is amazing. And then I got to talk to you and I was like, yikes, No, okay, so no. But so, like now that everything's happened, it's crazy because you're a very spiteful person when it comes to animation,
Just
right?
a little bit.
Just a bit. Like
Just salty
like
cup
you-
enough.
I remember Salty Cup. Yeah, you mentioned like 9 months ago, so long now that you were like,
coulda had a
I
baby
want to
by
make a
then,
story animation because like I think I can do a good job. And
Oh, I'm
like,
actually
"Well, do
working
it."
on that now.
Yeah.
Well, no, funny enough, I watched the one you uploaded either on your channel or on the with me that video.
The music one?
No, I forgot
The
what
review
it was
one?
called. No, she did like a story time video, right?
The one, okay, that one. I think I posted that one recently in Playbot.
Yeah, it's amazing and it's really good. Like I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, but the thing is, it took you 9 months to do it.
No, actually, I worked on it over the last 2 weeks. So
Then why the hell did you not upload it? What is wrong with you?
I had other things to work on. I forgot about them.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I finally put my heart into it. I didn't want to see. I don't think spiteful animations make the best content. And I don't think Pork Soda would have been very good if it was just me shitting on people. But, like, at some point, I started to actually love my content for what it was. And I wanted to do it for more than just some negative means. And I think that's why it turned out good. And this time around, like, if I made that storytime video back then, I feel like it would have no heart. Because it would just be very, just me trying to get back at people. And I don't want to... Plus, that had, like, I have no motivation in that. I would not even be able to make that kind of video because I'd be like, ugh, this is boring. Move on. But I've been trying to become more confident in myself because the reason that I don't make videos where I talk about my experiences is because I've never done that to anyone. Like, I never really tell people about that kind of stuff. So I think it's a learning experience more than a, hey guys, I saw a rabbit outside. Let's imagine a story together where the rabbit goes on a big adventure.
And becomes a flower.
Story time.
That's basically every
Alice
story
in
time ever.
Wonderland.
You got it. That's it.
And the rabbit, guys, was Bobby Yeah.
Oh my
Circle back. That's
all
what we called
around.
that's what we called a callback. So it's interesting you say that because you are now going into a animation college course, right? And some would argue that people who go through a big college
They
course
die.
and come out are they're dead, you know, or they turn into douches, you know. Like, what do you know?
Ooh, what do you think of that? You're like, that's my secret cap. I've always been a douche, and then you
Wait, tell me more
turn
about
towards
that.
the
Punch a giant alien.
then you punch a giant alien, which is the animation industry, right? That's a metaphor
right.
we're
But the
going
thing
for.
is,
I
like,
assume.
what are you gonna do, right? Like, and I love asking people their long-term goals because whilst we're all YouTubing and having a gay old time,
A gay old
I don't
time.
think any of us expect it's gonna last forever, right? Like, it's just not going to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Long time.
So, yeah, what's the end goal? What do you guys want?
Who wants to go
What
first?
do I want?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'll go first because Slinky doesn't have a clue.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yet. Think about it right now while I'm talking.
No, I know what I want to do.
So here's the best case scenario. Like, this is probably not gonna happen, but like, if everything in my life ever went right, this is what I would want to do with my life, you know? So I'd want to go to SCAD. I'd want to graduate. I'd want to get some experience underneath some good studio so I can, like, gain that experience of how a studio should work. Enough so that eventually I'll be able to make my own studio, make my own content, figure out how the hell to monetize off of that. I don't know how animators and animation studios make money yet. But I'd want to do that. I'd want to bring something new to the market. And I'd probably want to do it in Atlanta because we don't really have an animation thing going on here. We have a film industry. And if you think about it, if you have a film industry, why the hell don't you have an animation industry?
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
Just change the game, Maddie. Easy.
Change the whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, I think that's like admirable. Dang, now it makes my goals seem kind of tiny.
I just want bitches.
Yeah,
Do you?
I don't know.
No.
How many?
Well, the thing,
How many
who doesn't?
bitches? How many dogs? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a dog person. No, so Zalinki, like, you're an interesting case because you upload videos, like, you know, very funny, very comedic videos, and I love him. Every single thing you upload, I'm like, Rush, look at how good this is. And Rush is like, you just, why?
Stop torturing
And-
me. He's too good. Stop.
It's because like all the, like, you know, all the whispering, like like I watch your 1 million subscriber video all the time, and it's and featuring the odd ones out, and it's just like, thanks for coming, you know, like I just love it. It's like exactly up my lane.
So what you're saying is I
But the
need to
thing
make
is
more
that-
videos with like whispering in it because I'm
Yeah,
too loud.
yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
ASMR.
I love it because it's just like it's like what I love. It's not just the whispering. It's basically a juxtaposition
Right.
of
It's
volume,
the
right?
pacing between like whispering and screaming, or like violence and peaceful moments, I guess.
Yeah. Juxtaposition isn't the right word. Sorry, it's the variance, right? Because I think with story time as well, one of the things that people don't really pay attention to is the fact that Jaden, James, all those big boys, they vary their volume and how they present their volume. Like even in the most recent video, in the intro, James is literally screaming in the beginning. And then in some of them he's like whispering, in some of them he's normal. And it is important to vary it, because if you don't, it all becomes monotone, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that's what I find comedic. It's initially, you might be like normal voice or yelling it sometimes, and then it eventually just delves into like, okay, so how's it going? Yeah. It's really it's really funny to me, because it's just like. Yeah, and similarly, it's like, wow, that's why I love your the video with the two guys attacking YouTube. Those quality content. Yeah. And so it's like initially it's like very like normal pitch, and then they're high fiving. They start it all gets dramatized and yelling because when they attack YouTube with a stapler, and then like take the stapler, and at the end it's all quiet because they just kill themselves. So it's great. It's 10 out of 10.
I like the bird that go. I like how they're animated. It's funny.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Demonetized for suicide.
I think you're just jealous that I present
sorry,
suicide
I didn't mean to just
awesomely.
like stroke your ego for a minute.
I felt I was like, yeah, I thought it was leading to something, but I guess I'm just really
it is
cool.
leading. Sorry, so all of it, you're making great content and stuff, but then that leads me to the thing, leads to the point where what's next? Are you gonna just be comedic, or are you gonna make like comedic skits? Like what's gonna be the next thing, or is it just a temporary thing?
What are you gonna do with your life?
I think I explained it best when I said it in the plan. What do I say there? I say something about continuing to upload whatever the hell I want, and that's sort of like the goal, because like I want to make good stuff, don't get me wrong. The worst thing for me is making something that is like time context sensitive, right? Where it's something that becomes dated, like a meme, or like that's probably my worst my least favorite thing when it comes to things like the Feed the Birds video, is it kind of ends on the circle meme, and that's kind of an old meme. I could have ended it on anything else, to be honest, right, as a reveal. But it's sort of, that can become dated. Luckily there's enough stuff throughout it to like give it like enough life elsewhere, right? But to me, as long as I'm like creating stuff that I want to make and that's not dated and that can hopefully like stand the test of time, if people like that, great. If I like it, even better. I don't fucking know. What's the plan for that, I guess? Just keep doing it. Keep on grinding.
That leads me into an interesting question. But do you then care about how you're growing? Like, do you like try to foster a fan base, or do you just post whatever and see what happens?
I think at this point I'm sort of posting whatever, and like, to be honest, it may crash and burn, right? And I'll just have to go back to a full-time job, and I'll disappear into the ether, right? And never to be heard from again, right? But to me, that's I spent, and I think this goes for like a lot of content creators, right? Is we spend so much time worrying about what people think, and that's no way to live either, right? Where you're constantly worrying about like catering to an audience or making a specific kind of content. And to be fair, I've fallen a bit into that trope myself, because I continue making skits, right? Like cartoon skits, because I was like, well, people seem to like those, and while those are nice to do, right, and I could showcase like a certain amount of my creativity in it, right, be it backgrounds or like dialogue or whatever, right, music, I don't know, setting and all that. When it comes down to it, I just want to try like so many different things, right? Like I want to make music videos, I want to make video essays, I want to, just do whatever kind of the hell comes to me and see if I can do it well. And hopefully, if I do it well enough, then maybe I'm pleasing other people. And if not, then, that's just what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm excited. A video essay done by you would be, well,
what do you know?
Very cool.
Hey, stop kissing my
Well, the thing is that, the interesting thing is that you tried to expand out, didn't you? You made a vlog. You made like a like a daily vlog style video that
I did.
didn't get backlash.
I got rid of it because to me, like, that was just, again, it felt like dated, and that's why I wasn't happy for it, with it. And it's funny because some people are like, you should do whatever you want, right, and be content with it. And then when I was like, I think I'm gonna remove that video because I'm not content with it, a lot of people were like, no, you should leave it up. You should be fine with it, right? It was sort of like, wait, I thought you were telling me I could do what I want. So.
Yeah, you should do what you... Well, in my opinion, I think that once you create something, you should be proud to have it out there. Even if it's shit, it doesn't matter because it shows your growth over time. But that's my
Potentially.
own opinion. That's probably why they're
agree.
saying it. That kind of thing.
I agree.
I feel
You
that.
boo.
I find yours like whilst I agree with that, I do agree with that because like I've definitely had that. There's some videos that I have up there that I'm just like like maybe I shouldn't, maybe I don't want it up there, but I am I have to kind of go with what I believe in, I guess. Zalinki, I find that your stance really quite refreshing a little bit. Because you post what you want, and you didn't gain the fan base because you schemed to get the fan base. You got it
Right.
because that you made.
Well, I mean,
good
I was kind
shit
of
that
negative
people
to
enjoyed
begin
as
with,
well,
honestly.
right?
It's funny how close me and Sugar's like stories are, right? Because we were both kind of doing it in spite of animation memes. But mine was just more apparent, or mine was just more like, it was just more evident in mine that I was kind of angry at animation memes, whereas she was like, I'm just going to make a better animation meme. I'm just going to make better animation, whereas I sort of just was lambasting people, right, for
Yeah, you
doing
kept
it.
the bar
Yeah.
down low.
Like the animation meme for burnt rice. You're like, stop!
Right.
Hey, you did
And I
that.
mean, it's
No
not that
more!
the
Yeah,
animation that I did there wasn't like good. It's okay, but it's only like 10 seconds long, right? And it was clear that I was just trying to get a message across where it was like I was mad. I was like, why are people getting views for this, right? So it was sort of out of spite, or
Yep.
Hey, that's where the best animators come from.
that's where the best art comes from. It's pain, suffering.
Yeah,
it's-
Laddi hates me, and now you need to make a new video, Laddi. Your video
Exposed.
just hates.
Yeah.
Two.
Hi guys, welcome to my new video where I talk about how much I hate Maaz.
Maybe like a diss track. Keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Or you can go boxing.
An unboxing match.
No,
You
boxing,
can box me
boxing, boxing diss match, diss track match.
You rap while you punch.
Laddi, I think you're so cute. I was on my server the other day and some people were talking about you and how cute you are. And how they thought you were a boy in some of those VidCon videos.
Whoa, where's this heading? Whoa, okay.
And I'm like, how?
I don't know, I don't understand.
So like he's here like getting like threatened. He's like, whoa, wait, what?
What's
No, hold
happening?
on.
What are you saying?
Short hair's good. Calm down, Laddi. You're good. Calm down.
I wasn't sure where that was heading because we were talking about boxing, and then he was like, "You're so cute," and I was thinking you're gonna be like, "Oh, I was talking to my friends and how much we'd love to see you box or something like that." Like I don't know.
We just really want to wail on you. Just beat the everlasting crap out of you. Just like
I'm really the
see you
type
in
of
the ring.
person that's really bad at changing topics because, like, you guys are talking, and in my head, there's something scheming, and I'm like,
those
then
are
it's
cool
like,
thoughts,
speaking
Sugar.
of-
Those are cool thoughts. They are normal in a human psychology.
my thoughts block out everyone else.
It's like she explained like, oh yeah, and then my head starts doing this thing where it's
I think that might be
it's like-
sociopathy.
Just thinking.
yeah, that's
No,
called
but it's like, it's rude.
Think.
Like, the way that I think is very rude because people will probably, like, honestly, I've had situations where people are talking to me, like, just me, and I'm going off into my brain world, and I'm like, and my mouth starts spurting out something while they were in the middle of a story that I wasn't even listening to.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
I
I
was like,
watched
"Oh,
the
yeah."
Shane Dawson documentary. I think that might be a sign that you're a sociopath.
Yeah, you're a sociopath.
I know a thing or two.
How do you
but-
feel about that? How do you feel about this Shane Dawson documentary?
Zalinki hates it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I didn't want to watch it.
I
No.
didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it.
I
Why do you hate it?
Well,
What's the main-
I didn't like it because, like, he was saying, and it's about his character, right? Like, some people like him because he's over the top, but to me, like, he just kept beating around the bush and not getting to the point. Whereas, like, what he was talking about had a lot of truth to it, and it was certainly interesting, but it was kind of like phrased, or sorry, not phrased, but like framed like a 2000s reality TV show where he was constantly like, oh my god, I'm so nervous to do this documentary. Oh my god, he texted me. Oh my god, I'm nervous. I'm shaking right now.
That's, I think that's definitely what I think makes people either love it or hate it is entirely in the character, rather than I guess the
Right.
content. Of
Some
the
people,
video
I guess,
itself.
a lot of people just like to eat that up because it's like, oh, it's scary, it's spooky.
Yeah, it's my hotcake.
You know, but the thing is, and the with the Shane Dawson documentaries, because I don't watch much. I only watch the TanaCon ones for the information about what happened with TanaCon, but none of the other ones. And people love it, right? What I love is the fact that Shane has carved out a niche, and when you think of that niche, you think of Shane. He's now intrinsically tied with that niche. When you think of YouTube documentary series, you think Shane Dawson. There's like literally no one else.
I don't know. I watch a lot of video game documentaries, so I got like a ton of those guys that I go to who have like 3-hour long videos where they where they basically just rant about a game or something, and I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. Like it's odd because I would call them video essays, if does that make sense? Like I've watched Emp Lemons, Leafy, and I watch other people. When I say documentaries, I mean that's not a right word. I'd say probably like reality TV kind of aspect to it, because it is very dramatized. The editing is very,
I mean, he had that like Weltron urban looking text and like the scary, spooky like thum noises like that.
Yeah. So it's like a reality TV show, and I think Shane's definitely got the market for that, right? And I genuinely think that's why. That's like almost crucial now in YouTube. With so many people making the same content, the things that stand out is what will get people's attention. Like the hot ones is a brilliant idea. Have people eat the hottest things in the world whilst doing an interview. That's 10 out of 10.
What? That's
Why
a
would you
thing?
not want?
What,
Yeah, you
excuse
didn't
me?
know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, where is it? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
man.
they interview like celebrities and everything.
How do you miss
like,
something like
rappers.
that?
Excuse me as you hear my keyboard typing it in.
It's called Hot Ones.
What,
It's
It's
got a little
like-
bald
it's-
man. It's
it's
Mr.
like a-
Clean, and he gets somebody to eat his hot, spicy wings.
It's crazy. It's crazy because like if you hate the person they're interviewing, you can enjoy the challenge of
Oh,
eating the
that's
hot
true.
spicy
I never
food.
thought of it that way. Yeah, people like suffer.
And if you don't, if you don't care
birds,
about the
one
challenge, you
stone.
can watch it for the person. It's crazy because it's like a twofold reason to watch a video. And I think that's probably one of the most important things nowadays is that, like with James, Jade, and everyone in the story time, sometimes they make stories that are not interesting stories, like about a moth or about your parents. Why would I care about your parents? But the second reason that people watch your videos is that their personalities and their comedic ability is so great that they don't care what story they do, and they'll watch it regardless, right? And that's what I think people miss, because some people, some of the smaller creators, they'll post like they'll post like my experiences with the forest, and it's like, why the frick would we watch that? Like, why would I watch that? Who are you?
Yeah. Mood.
Right, and like it's not a criticism; it is like a genuine thing, right? If people don't care about your story and don't know your personality, there's no incentive for us to watch your video. And
Yeah.
I think finding something unique and carving yourself, and that's why when you think of the animation community, like the storytelling animation aspect, you think of James, Jade, and Domix, right? That's like the names that pop
I
into
mean,
your head.
Swoozy's one.
Swoozy is like the big daddy, but he's also like vlogging kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah.
the one that created it all, but I don't know. He's like not commonly associated because he's doing so many other things, right? And whilst other people in the community have garnered huge success, Rebecca Parham and Adam and Sugar and all them, they are at the end of the day, I don't want to say clones, but they are following the
But
formula.
you're gonna say clones,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to that film festival, I think it also like inspired me to go beyond, because like when I was watching everything on there, a lot of them were like either small studios. There were only 2 films from CalArts. Those were the only school films. But despite that, everything up there, all of those short films had something that was intrinsically itself, and you couldn't find it anywhere else. And I was like, wow, this. Like, even if you stripped away a lot of the people, but you just left the story and the way that it's executed, it is so much better than a lot of things I've seen on YouTube where people are just copying the same format.
Well, yeah. And that's why I think, Zalinki, once again, I don't want to suck on your big
Oh,
toes.
here
for a
we
little
go.
bit.
My big toes are ready.
Oh no.
No, you've got
Oh, no.
I have definitely looked at your channel in a more analytical way to see what I can grab, because you stand on your own.
Wait,
You're-
hold
I
on.
don't
You're
think-
saying you're
and
trying to
gra-
steal from me? Excuse me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're here.
Have you seen
Yes,
my
no.
latest style?
Yeah,
Honestly-
it's literally just Zalinki, like the same.
You know what's
animation
funny
style,
though is that
like,
I
yeah,
have seen like people take from me, and like whether it's explicitly, because I know like a lot of people said the fresh thing was a huge meme amongst like you used it, I believe, in
was.
one. Ginger Pale used it in one.
Yeah.
But like beyond that, like I've seen people try to mimic like comedy beats in the way that I do, and other stuff. So like,
No.
I mean that's not bad. Honestly, like it's kind of nice to see that people like are maybe inspired by it, right? Like it would be copying if it was
guess
like
so.
like every
Same
part.
jokes.
Yeah, same jokes, same exact jokes.
Yeah,
And I mean
yeah.
that happens, but like not with like cartoonists, I don't think. I don't think that's ever happened.
It's crazy because like yeah, so I definitely made an animation meme with you because it was like a huge hit. You know, the animation community was like literally you could never get into a VC and not hear "I'm so fresh." You can and it's just like everyone. It was a thing.
Yeah.
And what's really
Yes.
funny is that James apparently got an email that said like your friend might be a copycat, and they linked your video and my video with the fresh meme, and they're like, this guy just traces Zalinki. He's just copying Zalinki and stealing from him, and I'm like, lol. And I love that he like they're telling James about it as if he can discipline me, like spank me, you know, like how do you, Daddy?
I guess you did trace a few of the shots, right? But like I don't even like because I lined them up and I was like, oh, I guess he did like
Yeah.
trace a few, but like that's
No,
fine.
I did. And the thing is, I'm not. I don't want to defend tracing in a nutshell, but
yeah.
when it comes to memes like that, I think tracing it adds a little bit of comedy. Like, and I
Yeah.
think anybody who looks at it, no one can look at it and say, "Oh, Maaz drew that himself." It's very much
Obviously,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's like
no, and like
exactly
I got that
what
right.
it
It's
is."
not like you're trying to hide it or anything. So to me, I was like, that's funny.
No, no,
Somebody
no.
actually did come to me like later on, like a few months after it had come out, and they were like, yo, this dude's stealing from you." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Imagine
thing is,
if when we traced the Fortnite dances, Fortnite
Right.
and their whole thing
come
came
after you,
and
Epic
sued us.
Games. And, I mean, Epic
They're
Games
like,
tried to sue, or was it PUBG tried to sue Epic Games? I don't know.
PUBG, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't count.
And the thing is, it's like it would have been problematic had anyone approached me and I said, "No, I didn't trace that." And it's like, yeah,
Right.
you clearly did. You can literally.
Nah.
It's like shot to
Nah.
shot. It's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Right.
I've never seen Zalinki.
Yeah, who's that
video
guy?
before.
Zalonki? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty weird.
The shitty.
Wow. Okay.
that's
No, so what I was getting at is that when you stand on your own outside the animation meme circle and outside the animation community circle, and whilst you know both of them, when you say Zalinki, it's like very much an independent, body.
Or
right?
you get like a literally who from people. They're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, that's like with every channel.
Oh.
It's like who?
Moss? Literally who? Yeah.
You could literally be fucking PewDiePie and people be like,
You fucking
Fuck off.
PewDiePie. That's tell
You
us
could be
more.
fucking PewDiePie and getting some of that Swedish love,
Yeah,
but
boy.
sorry, what?
Well, the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is that I think that when I say we, it's like the entire
Yeah, the
community.
collective we.
have a huge potential to stand out, right? So I had a few
Definitely.
ideas, but like when you said, oh, I want to make video essays, I think video essays in and itself, I wouldn't say saturated, but there's a lot, right? There's a
Right.
few. But if I think that if you were to incorporate a little bit of your animation in your things, like have like either your persona or have a bit of 2D skits to kind of elucidate
of
your
course.
points further.
Yeah.
I think that would really make you like really stand on your own 2 feet, like video games dunk
Right.
you. It's a video essay / review with his signature comedic style.
Well, my issue is
and
I
it's
did
like
want to
an
do like
entire
video
new-
game stuff, but I like recently. Okay, I played the Spider-Man PS4 game, but oh my god, I have some issues with it, right? And I have issues with it out of love, but like as I was writing a script for that, because I very rarely write a script. People who like ask like, how do you come up with a script for your skits? I don't do that because there's not enough dialogue for me to want to like write it down. But when it comes to like, I have been working on like essays and scripts recently. And it's funny because my video essay stuff is like, the writing there is super dense and I find that it might go over people's heads. So I definitely need like visuals that accompany it and make sense for people. But when it comes to me like writing a rant about a video game, I just sound mad. I just sound like really mad, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm
know,
ready to
man.
become video game donkey or something.
You
Or-
can play up the madness.
No,
Sure.
I think it just depends on how you go around it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just what you do. You know, how you approach it.
You could like
and like with
you just one part like let's say you swing into a wall and you fade through the building. It's like, oh yeah, check out this sweet move. I'm gonna fade in this wall, and then you just do it. It's like, yeah, wasn't that epic? It's like I hope it doesn't do it again. You get stuck again like 3 minutes later. It's like, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Well, it was more of like a
it
direct critique of it using, but it was kind of, I felt bad because as I was doing, it would have like cartoon visuals, but I was thinking that seems very regurgitative of Ego Raptor's Sequelitis series. I don't know if any of you guys watched those.
I've never even heard
You
of
haven't
it.
watched those? Oh, they're
You're dead to me.
fantastic.
You're dead to me, Maaz.
What the
It's time to
heck?
He
educate
says that,
ourselves.
Sequel.
Bobby,
people-
yeah.
Maz, you're like a baby.
We got a lot to watch after we're done.
Sequelitis?
Sequelitis, yeah. He picks apart games and what makes games great and what this one did wrong based on other games.
But the thing is, that was 7-8 years ago. You can absolutely do that again, and people will be like, "Oh, this is new," you know, like.
Potentially, but people are going to address it and be like, "Oh, that seems very Ego Raptors,"
Yeah.
especially because I swear a lot and I scream like him. Like, I realized, like,
You always want to make things your own. You don't want to copy other people.
exactly. So,
No, I get that, but you also have to acknowledge the fact that whatever you saw when you were a child / growing up, that is what's going to shape you in the end. right?
Yeah, but you just have to make it your own. You just
Like, I used to watch a lot of Animaniacs when I was growing up, and that's why I'm very much into the kind of fast-paced slapstick, little bit of humor, you know, and a little bit, you know, I love that kind of just
I gotcha,
fast-paced,
yeah.
right? And I understand that it's because that's just how I watched, and if people say, yo, you copied it, it's like, I wouldn't say copy it, inspired, definitely, but, you know, just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think this entire, and I'm definitely in, like, you know, spoilers for the podcast, but this is going to come out in like a month or two. So I have an idea that I really want to do, and I think it's unique, and it's definitely a frontier that I don't think maybe somebody did, like Sequelitis, who knows, 7-8 years ago, but I don't think anybody's approached it yet. And I really can't wait to do it.
It's exciting.
are we meant to
It's
like
like, I
guess?
think-
Can we guess?
No.
Let's guess.
Well, you can guess,
Porn.
but the thing is, it's like,
Porn.
Beep out the answer.
Yes, porn.
yes,
Point. Straight point.
yes. You got it.
A human character having sex with a cartoon
Two-
character. Never been done before.
It's
Here we
actually
go.
just
Two
me
Maazes,
shirtless
one
for a
mayonnaise
video.
jar.
Actually, it's just me.
Starting your own animation account on Pornhub, but it's just
Oh.
animation. It's just regular animation.
Today we
Yeah.
fuck
But
Sam
you
from
can add more
Undertale.
blood.
No, but no, it's like, yeah, it's crazy because what I'm gonna do, because I sat down and I was like, how do I stand out? Because, you know, even if I were to gain popularity like tomorrow, get 1 million subs, right? People would still be like, oh yeah, that's the guy who does the same thing as James, and I'm like, no, I'm Maaz. I don't want to be known as the guy who does something. You know, I just want to be the people. I want people to know me,
Right.
Yeah.
and so I need to make content that I need to stand on, that
Right.
stands on its own.
Diversify.
That also, yeah, and that, like, so the criteria in my mind was stand on its own, hasn't been done by other people, and evergreen. And I'll expand on what I mean by evergreen later. But basically, I was like, what skills do I have? Right? It's A, I make little dainty story animations, and B, I have a medical field, right? And so I can do something with those, right? And what do I enjoy watching? And I listed what I would enjoy watching, and I mixed and matched, and I think I found a mix that I was like, oh, I don't think this has been quite
Good.
done like this, you know? And I'm like, I can't wait to work on it and make it. And the thing is, with evergreening, that made it the most difficult, because one of the theories as to why the storytime animation community is booming like it is because, and of what you said, Zalinki, it's the timeless aspect of the videos. Because if you were to watch, for example, H3 and Leafy, if you found them now, if you looked a year or two back to their old back catalog, they're completely irrelevant now.
Yep.
You know, they're now not important, or no one cares about them anymore.
Yeah.
But then when you find, like, for example, the other ones out now, and you look at his back catalog, because each and every one of them are about his story and his life and stuff, and not saturated with current memes, it works, and you can watch 4-year-old content
Right.
as if they were new.
Well, more importantly,
right?
they're about like life events too, right? So kids growing up are gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Huh, what's this guy's opinion on going outside or whatever?" Right? So like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm seeing a squirrel.
and I think stuff like that stands forever. And I that's what made it difficult, because it's very easy for me to be like, make a Leafy is here style video, being like, yo, what's up, guys? So the new guy that came in, Laddi, I hate that little girl, Laddi.
It's actually quite
but the thing
interesting.
but then in like a year, no one's gonna care about the Laddi Maaz beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I will. Some scars last forever, I mean,
Laddi cries herself to sleep, but that's what I had, because that's just how I am. When I work on anything, I like it being very logical,
Right.
and being like, what do I need to hit and what do I not need to hit, and that's what it was.
Like on that note too, like
Yes.
thinking about stuff that lasts for a long time, right? Like, yeah, we were just talking about it, right? Look at old internet animation. Eventually, stuff does fade out, right? In terms of like that over the top dark humor isn't exactly viable anymore. I mean, everybody does love their kind of like edgy, kind of darker, depressing like memes, right? But that, like, the kind of old animation that was back then is not the same in any capacity, the kind of like edgy stuff that we see now. Back then there was a lot more blood and other stuff and shock just for the sake of being shocking. But like now it has shifted, and I do think there'll be a time where somebody looks at the Fresh video, right, and they're like, that's just kind of stupid, like this doesn't make any sense, right? And because I think as a huge, like, when it comes to like a huge scale, right, as a country, as a whatever, as a world, a planet, I don't know, we all eventually like transfer our humor, right? It becomes selective eventually, right? So it's also like it's important to
I don't know,
focus
look
on
at
just
books.
making what's fun, even if it is something that is just in the moment,
Look at Oscar Wilde, the author that's been dead forever. His stuff is still funny.
I've never who? No, I'm kidding. I know the name, but like I don't think I've ever read any of his stuff, to
Older
be
than
honest.
high school. He was like a very flamboyant kind of writer back in his day in Britain. He had a lot of affairs with guys.
See, I don't know if that would fly
with
today.
his
That's a
woman.
Me Too thing. That's a situation right there. I don't know.
Yeah, but he always made these kind of books where he made fun of the way that society worked, especially in like higher class situations. And even though it was so far back then, nowadays you can still see the relevance.
Maybe.
And like even now it's still funny.
I don't know. I'd
Like,
have to
I
check
think
him
there
out.
was some
Maybe you're
gross
right, yeah.
humor, like even in Shakespeare. I think even in Shakespeare, there's like this double-ended sword almost. You're trying to get two birds with one, where you're trying to appeal to two different demographics in Shakespeare. So they've got a lot of raunchy stuff that even now I think is still funny. But that might just be me.
Yeah.
Yo, who the fuck reads Shakespeare? What the hell?
I was in high school.
Exactly. Only high
in my
schoolers.
spare
Only high
time, I
schoolers
like
and
to
high
read
school teachers
Shakespeare.
read Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I'm
but for a
actually
reason.
reading Shakespeare right now in my college class, but it's my theater.
Why?
It's
Why?
my theater.
For fun.
Theater. Intro to theater. We're doing Othello, which is a play. But
Exactly.
Shakespeare.
There you go. People
And-
never do it on their own time, right?
Yeah.
Dude on the John.
It's
I
always for
wouldn't just
something
go
else.
and do it.
Oh man, I've played a lot of Overwatch and time to read Shakespeare.
Right, exactly. Like you're just on the toilet, time to do some light reading,
My
and you just pull out
yeah, my favorite pastime is reading Shakespeare.
on the toilet.
That's great.
Yeah. Once again, it goes back in time with the medieval aspect we were going for. Where art thou? Where art thou?
Even that stuff from back, like, it might not seem like nowadays it's relevant, but just look at all the goddamn classrooms that are still using fucking Shakespeare. And even then, you're just like, oh, that's fine. It's a boring class assignment. You're not going to remember that in the future. But let me tell you, we read Oscar Wilde in that class, and for the rest of the year, we would put sticky notes up saying that one of the characters was a reincarnation of the devil. And
Yum.
it got to a point where we would be like joking around like this, that our teacher was out one day, and it was just like a perfect storm. So she went out, and we had annotated a bunch of books at the beginning of the year. It was the end of the year. Another teacher came in who had all of our books from the beginning of the year, and she gave it to us, and she's like, just take out the sticky notes. You don't have to do your work instead. And we're like, okay.
Okay.
That sounds good. We'll do that. And so we take all the sticky notes out and we plaster them on all the walls with like shit written on it about all of that. Yeah.
And I also like reckon those kind of stuff. Like if I were to tell you guys, if I were to ask you guys, yo, summarize Romeo and Juliet, you would remember it. You know it because even though I haven't read Romeo and Juliet in like what freaking.
Okay, yeah, but then what's the
12
most you
years?
can
I
say
don't
about it?
even know.
All I know is that they died, right? They were star-crossed.
It's like one they loved star-crossed lovers. They loved each other in warring factions. You know, one faked the death, and the other one thought that they really died, so killed herself. Guy woke up and killed himself. Easy.
Yeah.
Romeo and
Right.
Juliet was like okay, but like, have you ever read Hamlet?
Have you ever heard of
yeah,
Nomeo
I
and
can
Juliet?
get
How about
That's my
them?
favorite one. Where you get gnomed, yeah.
Classic.
It's the art.
Has anybody seen the second Romeo or Nomeo
No.
and Juliet movie?
Oh,
Maddie,
The
we were
Sherlock
kidding.
Gnomes, is that one?
Yeah.
No,
no.
it was a joke.
There's animated movies about
No, thank you.
Maddie, we're kidding. Nobody's ever seen those
Was it
movies.
not?
Not even you.
Hey, Zalinki. I have a
Yeah.
question. Listen. At VidCon House, this is important to me, all right, man? This is very important.
Okay.
There's these flip-flops. Did you wear flip-flops? Because I hear that you accidentally stole a flip-flop.
Wait, sorry. Are you leading me on to something? No, I've
Yeah,
never
no,
stolen a
this is
flip-flop.
serious. My friend was like, I think Zalinki stole my flip-flop. It's like, I have an
No.
odd pair of flip-flops here, and
I-
one doesn't match.
What, you mean in
See,
California?
this is what happens.
Yeah.
You're just so devious that now everybody suspects you, and it's gonna become like the witch times all over again.
Did you
Yeah.
accidentally
You're gonna be
steal a
burned at the
flip-flop?
stake.
I don't think I
Wrong
could
one.
accidentally steal a slipper. I don't wear slippers. Yeah.
Well, I have
I'm a
your
bit of a
glasses, so it's
fiend.
okay.
What? You have my
Bit of a
glasses, did you
fiend.
say?
Yeah, we stole them. You're welcome.
Oh shit! I was like, oh man, I guess I lost them, and they were at the Airbnb. I'll come back next year with another pair that we can swap out for.
Yeah. I can't see. The
Wait,
entire year
guys,
you've been
I just
blind.
realized
You've just been
that we're
blinded the
all-
entire year.
We all went to VidCon, and I just realized that.
Dude, dang. That's...
You just
Did you
realized
guys
that?
know that we had
are
a?
you people?
Did you know we had a rave in
Dorn-
the bathroom?
Oh yeah,
That
we
wasn't
did.
me,
And
that
then
was
people
Dayton,
stepped
and
on
that
my
was you
glasses.
guys.
It's pretty awesome.
No, yeah, that wasn't so awesome.
That was
Why'd you
pretty
go up there in
wild.
the bathroom with all them and do that with the glow stick? Why?
That was funny.
God
Yeah.
darn.
That was a wild. That
Can
was
I
a
talk
wild.
about
I
that
can't wait
bathroom?
until-
Hate that bathroom.
Are you
I can't-
kidding me? That was
I can't
so
wait
good.
until
I was like,
too.
God, I could live there
Too.
because I'm.
Okay,
I'm-
but
have
I
a
actually
massive
showered
ego.
in that bathroom, and every like 5 minutes, somebody would try to walk in, and I'd be like, "Please leave."
The one with the open, like, bathroom?
Yeah, with the
I kind of like that.
curtain.
It was like someone out of a movie.
Dude,
Like you could
but
pretend to be sexy and be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm showering," and then like you'd cover yourself and blush or something. I don't.
But there were like
How
20 of
good
us.
was the house? The house was amazing.
I loved
and
it.
it's just like
It's wild.
Can we get that house again?
No, they hate us.
I think
That's
they
a- no,
wouldn't.
but the thing-
they would
Nah,
not.
we
so
stole the
expensive.
deal.
Like,
We
the
stole the
Uber
dildo.
was so
Right?
expensive.
No, they're not letting you back.
Oh my gosh. Look, the thing is, right?
Yes.
Next year's gonna. You guys are coming next year.
Oh
right?
hell
Yes,
yeah,
and
for
you're
sure.
letting us into wherever you're staying, Maaz, right?
That's a pretty bold thing. She's trying to get you to say yes because
Because
you're,
I
we're
wrote
live.
to you,
We're on air.
and I was like, "Hey,"
Maz might not even go himself.
and you said, "Okay," right?
Just stab me if I don't. But like, basically, we're looking for a place close by because the Ubers and Lyft ate
Yeah.
all of our costs.
Yeah.
That was so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's also just like a fun time, you know. And the next year is gonna be the 10th VidCon, so it's gonna be like a massive
Yeah,
Oh
event.
hell
VidCon
yeah.
X.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
VidCon
It's
X.
gonna be massive
Roman
because they
numeral.
won't forget about animators this time.
Yes. Thank
Yes, queen.
Right.
Yes.
I know,
There you
I'm
go.
like I'm really excited for
I'm
it.
so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Be a
I'm
good
so
time.
excited to see you guys again.
It'd be pretty wild.
I just want the tickets to go up.
We need more piano. We need a
Say I
piano
wanna
next
buy
house again.
one.
Oh yeah, can you guys find an Airbnb that's got a piano? I don't care if I stay with you or not. I just want to
grand
come by and
piano,
just
or-
slam on that. Doesn't matter. Upright, grand, whatever works, baby.
Just eat spaghetti on it
Piano.
and play it.
Yeah. That was the most. I told people like that was one of the more surreal things actually, because I was like, yeah, I got to talk to James and Adam as I have, but like I've never talked to Jaden, and I said the closest we ever got was she was sweeping the floor and I was washing like spaghetti out of pots, which is a very strange, like it's super surreal when you think about it. Like there's a
Yeah.
ton of people who would love to meet this person, and I'm just standing there just washing dishes next to them as they're sweeping the floor. It was super weird.
nonchalantly, you know how
It's like
the
such
normal
a
people do.
precious moment. Like, I don't know. Like, all these animators were just doing normal
Yeah.
household things together.
I was helping with making the
Spaghetti?
garlic
The
bread.
spaghetti.
Aw.
I thought it was
The
pretty
best
cool.
part.
Yeah, it was like a
Loved
giant
that
family.
night. Zaid made awesome spaghetti, and that was such a good night, and it made me happy.
Yeah.
Yes. Big dream right here. Big dream, but I want to get a big place with 10 other animators.
Right.
Yeah, me
Big glass
I'd be like,
mansion.
hey, how you doing?
Glad.
Why not, right?
The shower would be really awkward then.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll just say, hello, is anybody in here?
I reckon. I'm just like counting down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like there's like what 9 months until it happens. So long.
This is
Got
like your
it.
life,
In 9
Maaz.
In 9 months, that's like enough for a baby to be born.
Right.
You know?
I'll
So it's
finally
like,
go
it's
through
so,
puberty. It's crazy.
Yes.
Circle.
So many things like in 9 months, everything can change. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah.
Like one of us might get another community strike guideline, and then you know,
And
just
die,
like-
yeah.
Right. We might all turn our backs on each other.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, so there's hope.
One day.
Or a matter of time.
But you know, that's just a hopeful wish for next year. You know?
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, so
All right, I think that should wrap it up for the podcast.
Yeah.
I think we've been going
About
on
an
for
hour 12
a
minutes.
while.
yes.
All right, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, everybody. Oh, shout out to our patron Origami.
Yeah.
You know, for
Anyone else?
supporting
Hell
us
yeah.
on Patreon.
Best patron.
Mwah.
Origami be dope, yeah.
Yeah, Origami, I love you. I don't even know who you are, but hold on.
Little kisses.
Zalinki loves you. And so thank you so much to you, but also thank you so much for the other patrons as well. All right. Thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for Zalinki and Sugar for
Ew.
coming along.
I was the best one here.
No, not at all.
That's why you...
Oh, I think I did a really good contribution
I think Laddi
today.
always.
Okay, you know what? You got me. You got me there. You're cuter than me, so...
Yeah. You're cuter than
no.
me. You win.
Even if you
All
look
right.
like a
Thank
boy.
you so much for listening in, guys. And we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Logging out now.